I'd like to thank Red Cloud for inviting Chalice to present today. The topic of my talk will be on the Julimar nickel copper PGE discovery, which is a world-class greenfields discovery just on the outskirts of Perth in Western Australia. Forward-looking statements, these can be read at your leisure on our website. And a little bit about Chalice. So Chalice, on the back of the Julimar discovery, is a globally recognised name in exploration. We're a mine finder, and we also reward our shareholders. We're a high-performance, high-execution team, a good combination there of technical and commercial skills. Our purpose is really to find the metals such as what we found at Julimar, which will help with the energy transition. And our aspiration, we really think we're on the edge of a world-class province, which has previously been unrecognised. So, yeah, really like our exploration upside. Chalice is a leading ASX 200 company. We've got a track record there of creating shareholder value. And I think we're probably the most compelling exploration story on the ASX at this time. We've got a very experienced board of directors led by Alex Dorsch, our MD. Our achievements, as you can see, we've got lots of happy shareholders, over a 4,000% return since the Julimar discovery in March 2020. This really is a world-class discovery, and we're very fortunate to be recognised with winning the Thayer Lindsley Award at the PDAC this year. That's on the back of previous accolades there, particularly the Prospector Award in Australia for last year. In terms of the corporate snapshot, our market cap has just ticked over 2.5 billion as of close today. We've got 100 mil in the bank, and we're exploring and spending quite aggressively. Our register there is showing a growing importance there on the institutional holders. We've got BlackRock at 5%, and we've got another corporate there sitting at 4.9%. So definitely an uptick there in the institutional holders on our registry. We're obviously on the back of our discovery. We're growing our capabilities very quickly. Our most recent appointment is GM of Project Development, Mike Nelson. And Mike's obviously pretty busy with our scoping studies, and that'll keep him busy for some time to come. Now, really what I want to talk to you today is really about our Julimar project. It's a major polymetallic, nickel, copper, cobalt, platinoids, dominantly palladium discovery there in Western Australia. It was discovered in the first drill hole, drilled back in March 2020, and the resource number there we're quoting is based on our July 2022 second update of the MRE. Just to put it in context, that's Australia's biggest PG discovery ever, and on the nickel contained nickel metal alone, that represents the largest nickel sulphide discovery in Australia since the year 2000. So a very significant tier 1 discovery. We're in the process of updating the mineral resource. We're expecting that to be completed later this month. And you'll see that there will be quite a bit of growth from that update. What are we about? Well, we've got a strategic large-scale mineral discovery just on the doorstep of Perth. It's 100% owned by Chalice, and given its location, we're only 70 kilometres northeast of the capital of mining in Australia, Perth. And obviously the metals that we've discovered at Julimar are very important for the decarbonisation of the technologies like batteries, electric vehicles and hydrogen. Our strategy is to explore and develop in parallel, and also we are looking at strategic JV partnerships, principally at the project level. And what sets us apart is there really is a compelling exploration upside to this project. This slide here really just sort of shows the thematics there in terms of current supply, particularly in palladium and nickel. What you'll note is that over 75% of the world's palladium production is from Russia and South Africa. And recently, a lot of the PGM producers in South Africa have downgraded their forecast production for 2023. So you can see there's some uncertainty there over supply globally. In terms of the Australian government is committing over $1 billion to help miners and explorers with critical minerals projects in Australia, so we're getting a lot of support there. And obviously there's a lot of inboard strategic partner interest in the project, given the suite of metals that we've discovered. As we look at the use of these metals, I won't dwell too much here, but it's quite obvious to see that all the metals that we've discovered in Julimar have application to developing industries there, the hydrogen economy, electric and hybrid vehicles, and also energy storage. So a whole range of uses for that suite of metals. And obviously a growing battery industry requires large-scale nickel discoveries, and hence Julimar is well placed to capitalise on that. We've got 560,000 tonnes of contained nickel in the deposit to date, and obviously being Class 1 nickel has very low carbon intensity, so it in the future may generate a premium. Platinum palladium, they've got a wide range of uses, but particularly in the hydrogen production, transport and storage and utilisation. So we see a growing demand for these metals going forward. And some modelling that we've done on the potential use of platinum palladium in the hydrogen economy shows that we could be getting demand up to 8 million ounces, principally in the light and heavy fuel cell EVs, and that's assuming a fairly modest uptake there, 10% share of the light vehicle market and 40% of the heavy. So again, there's a growing demand there for PGEs in the future demands. Getting back to the project itself, this is a view there of the block model, which was again from the July 2022 resource estimate. You can see that deposit is principally a 1.9 kilometre long deposit there. It's pit constrained, the resource that we've reported to date, and you can see there's a lot of upside potential there, which is where we've been drilling recently, is a down dip and down plunge position of the deposit. As I said, it's a very large nickel sulphide deposit. It's actually the fourth largest undeveloped nickel sulphide resource in Australia. So it shows the significance of what we've discovered. Grade tonnage chart there shows very flat grade versus tonnes there. It shows we've got good optionality there to high grade the deposit, or we can reduce the cut-off grade for potentially open pit mining. So really want to emphasise the optionality over the project. And in terms of the work that we've been doing on the scoping study, obviously we're looking at how we can best extract value from this suite of metals. What we see is a two-stage process, basically a base metals flotation to generate a copper, palladium and gold concentrate. This will have 20 to 25% copper and 100 to 150 grams 3E PGEs, and that can be sold to copper smelters around the world. The second stage involves a bit more work there. This is what we're currently studying in more detail. We're looking at a nickel iron flotation and then basically a leach circuit there to generate nickel and copper MHP, which is what's been demanded by the battery producers. So again, a lot of work going on into this, and this work will continue this year, and the scoping study will be assessing a broad range of scale and how we mine this and how we process this mineralisation. A couple more slides now on the actual deposit itself. Again, you can see the resource model in purple and brown, and that's all hosted in the Gonville intrusion, and we've been exploring that at depth. We're getting some pretty amazing intercepts there, such as 157 metres at 0.8% nickel equivalent, and within that 48 metres at 1.7. So definitely amazing upside there in this deposit and this mineral system. We're also exploring adjacent in the Hartog intrusion, and we've got some early stage results there which suggest the mineralisation does continue further north. So it really demonstrates the scale of this system. And then sort of moving out a scale here, just to the south is the Gonville deposit in purple, and what we've discovered now is the same geology extending 6 to 10 kilometres further to the north. And that's pretty exciting. All the holes have intersected sulphides, and we're getting some very similar intercepts that we see back down at Gonville there, 5 or 6 kilometres to the south. Drilling is continuing. We've got 5 rigs on site, and we're also looking at how we can expand our activities in the forest, where most of our exploration is undertaken at present, and we'll continue with our targeted exploration in this corridor. I guess this slide is pretty exciting as well. When we step back in scale, we see the Gonville really represents just 2 kilometres of a 30-kilometre long interpreted mafic to ultramafic intrusion, which has had no exploration. So again, very exciting brownfields exploration upside to the project. Obviously, we've been busy since March 2020, and that's sort of led up to the most recent resource estimate. We'll have MRE3 coming out later this month, and then obviously be working hard on the scoping study, and then that'll progress to a mine proposal. Obviously, there's a lot of other work that needs to go along with a project of this scale. We're leading the low impact exploration in the state forest with very low impact drill rigs. We've got a project which will deliver lasting value to the immediate community, and we're also building strong links with our traditional owners from the first drill hole. Almost at the end, this slide here, I think as a geologist, gets me very excited. What we believe we've uncovered is a completely new nickel PGE province along the western margin of the Yilgarn Craton. We think we're at a similar stage how the Eastern Goldfields was prior to discovery there of over 25 million tonnes of contained nickel. Our tenure, 8,000 square kilometres. We were lucky enough that a lot of the area was vacant, so we could go on a big pegging spree at the start of our discovery. And we've potentially interpreted many hundreds of intrusions along this western flank of the Yilgarn Craton. As we know, discoveries aren't getting any easier to find, and there's only been relatively few in the last decade. So you really got to look in these frontier areas and come up with new ideas of how to explore and discover such deposits. In terms of highlights, what we've discovered at Julimar really is a world-class, tier 1 discovery. It's got the metals that the world needs, and it's in a number 1 jurisdiction. We've got a team behind the discovery who have been there since day one, and they know how to create shareholder value for the company. And we believe we've got a significant exploration upside there along the western margin of the Yilgarn Craton in a very new and completely unrecognised magmatic sulphide province. Thank you very much.